Welcome. In this playthrough of Marvel Champions of Card Game, we go on to the conclusion of our Rise of the Red Skull campaign with Thor and Miss Marvel going up against Red Skull. So taking a look at our setup, each player searches their deck for all cards with the setup keyword and puts them into play. We'll get to that shortly. We've got our experimental weapons. We're going to place X threat counters on the main scheme where X is the number of delay counters recorded in the campaign log. Place X per player instead if you're playing on expert campaign. And we had 6, so that's going to be 12 threat, which is going to be a huge problem. We will set each player's hit points to the remaining recorded in the last campaign, which was 10 and max for her at 10. So when our upgrades come into play, we'll be getting +1 hit point over here and +4 on this side. We may add 1 random obligation to go to our full health, which we're not going to do. We did not have any enemies engaged with us in the last one. And if the players lose this game, Red Skull conquers the world, and the players lose the campaign. So there's no do-overs on this one. So no pressure. For Red Skull, his first version, scheme of 3, attack of 1. With the ability, he gets +1 attack for each side scheme of play. When revealed, each of us gets an encounter card. We've got 2 main schemes. First one is helping with their setup. So we've got Red Skull 2 and 3 for expert mode, the Red Skull standard and expert cards, those few experimental weapons, Hydra Assault and Hydra Patrol. Then we'll put the Red House into play, shuffle every other side scheme to form a side scheme deck, and then set the sleeper aside out of play. On this side, we're going to have a threshold of 16, but we're starting with 12. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, reveal the top card of the side scheme deck and put it into play. So the Red House, Red Skull cannot take damage. When a character thwarts this side scheme, they may use their attack instead, and this starts with 6. And the sleeper, who's going to go take a nap for a little bit, scheme of 1, attack of 3, 5 health per player, guard, retaliate 1, and toughness. When revealed, he engages the first player, and when defeated, remove him from the game. And once again with Thor, I'll go over deck construction at the end of the video. So we're using the power of aggression. We've got our +1 hit point already, +1 attack. Your response after you defeat a minion, exhaust this card to draw a card. Thwart of 1, attack of 2, and a defense of 2. Have at thee as a response after you engage a minion, draw 2 cards. Once per phase. Hand size of 4 and 14 health. Recovery of 4. Worthy action. Search your deck and discard pile for the Mjolnir upgrade and add it to your hand and shuffle your deck. Hand size of 5 on that side. Miss Marvel has a few more things to help her out. So her base stats, 1 for thwart, attack, and defense. Morphogenics as a response after you play an attack, thwart, or defense event. Exhaust Miss Marvel, return that event to your hand. Hand size of 5. Recovery is going to be a 6. Teen Spirit has an action, discard cards from the top of your deck until you discard a Miss Marvel card, then add that card to your hand, and a hand size of 6. So here we've got +4 hit points, +1 recovery, and after you use our recovery, exhaust this card to draw a card. We still have our stems, so we can discard this and remove it from the campaign log, ready your hero, and heal 5 damage from them. Power of Justice, and she's got 3 friends helping her out. All right, so finishing up our setup, shuffle the encounter deck. Each of us is going to get an encounter card. And if I was Spider-Man, that would make my spider sense tingle. So 1 for Thor, 1 for Miss Marvel. Got her side scheme stack. Give it a nice shuffle. Hard to shuffle just a few cards. Then for Thor, starting with 5 cards, hopefully he can help start out with some thwart actions. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Defender of the 9 Realms, Spider-Girl, Lady Sif, Combat Training, and Energy. And since I don't think I'm going to get enough resources to play her, we'll pitch her. Getting one more card, finding strength. Okay, probably could have made that happen. Kamala be getting 6 cards. And we definitely need her to deal with some threat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Electra, big hands ×2, skilled investigator, sneak by, and shrink. Well, the big hands aren't going to be needed, so we'll try with those. So sneak by and Nick Fury. So we're ready to get started. He's going to go looking for his hammer. There we go. So that gives us +1 attack and the aerial trait. Take a look at that there. Well, we're going to flip over. Defender of the 9 Realms. Hero action. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck into discard a minion. Put that minion in play, engage with you, then remove 3 threat from a scheme. So we quickly find a Hydra Flame Soldier, scheme of 1, attack of 1, 4 health with the ability, after he makes an undefended attack against you, discard a support you control. But we do get to draw 2 cards, get over here, and another get over here. And then 3 threat. We'll take that off the main. Going to bring in combat training, giving us +1 attack. We'll bring in Spider Girl. So after you play her, stun and confuse a minion. We'll bring in her hammer, giving us +1 attack. So now we have an attack of 5. And we're going to tell this guy to get over here and deal him on damage. Then he is going to fort over here. He can use his attack, so that's going to be 5. Spider Girl is going to thwart for 1. So the red house is taken care of, so Red Skull can now take damage. Kamala is going to use her ability to go look for Miss Marvel card. Lockjaw, need to remember about that. And we're just going to go through our deck, apparently. So here's my deck construction. All right, we found Nakia. Alter Ego action, exhaust her, reduce the cost of the next card you play this phase by 1. And we're not going to get Nick in, so we'll use him to pay for her and then use her ability to make her next card 1 cheaper. Flip over. I think we're just going to set ourselves up, putting Shrink in. So as a hero interrupt, when you play a thwart event, exhaust Shrink, increase the amount of threat that event removes by 2. Using that as our other resource. I'm going to play Skilled Investigator, play under any player's control. We're going to give that to Thor. After side scheme is defeated, exhaust this to draw a card. Then we're going to bring in Electra. After you play her, we can spend a physical resource, which I'm not doing because I don't have, to deal 3 damage to an enemy. And she's just going to go after Red Skull, down to 29. And thwart for 1. We'll keep Sneak by in her hand, ending her turn. So 4 cards on this side. Genius, God of Thunder, Get Over Here, and the Power of Aggression. 4 cards on this side. Got her Suit, Endurance, Followed, and Embiggen. Skull gets 2 threat, going up to 10. Our side scheme, Censor the Past. When defeated, each player chooses up to 3 cards in their discard pile, shuffles them into their deck. 6 threat. Skull's going to attack over here. We're just going to take it. So base 1, 2. If you're in hero form, the villain attacks you after this activation. Do not deal any boost cards. So we'll take 2 from that. So down to 9. Then he's going to swing for 2 more. Down to 7. Remove stunned. Then attack over here. She's going to take it for base 3. Then encounter cards. So Thor's first. Odin's angry at him. So we're going to flip over and exhaust. And remove this from the game. And then power gauntlets. Attach the villain. After the attached villain attacks and damages you, discard a card from your hand. As a hero action, spend a mental and physical resource to discard it. Then on this side, the villain attacks you. Where Spider Girl's going to jump in front of that one. So 4 damage. And the villain in each minion engaged with you attacks you. Goodness. 3 attacks. And I don't want to discard cards, but I'm going to. All right, so 2 damage coming, 3, 4. Go down to 7. Discard 1 card from her hand. Be embiggen. And change player. So Electra is going to swing for 3. Yeah, we'll do that. Get rid of him. We're going to bring in our polymer suit to generate a wild resource for an event. Then we're going to play Sneak By using that to remove 3 5 threats from a scheme. Take off that one and then 1 more. So 3 cards from our discard pile and shuffle them into the deck. So Sneak By. I like Nick. I like Free. I like Under Surveillance. Yep, we'll go with those 3. So Under Surveillance, Shang-Chi, and a Sneak By. Get those shuffled in. And the same thing on this side. Oops. Spider Girl, Lady Sif, and some resources. And get those shuffled up. And unfortunately, flipping over means we don't get the draw a card ability. But what we are going to do is go ahead and use our stems on this side. Discard this and remove it from the campaign log. Ready your hero and heal 5 damage from them. So back up to 12, then thwart for 1 more. And his turn is terrible. We're going to put in God of Thunder and flip over. And we'll keep Power of Aggression. Ending her turn. So 5 cards on this side. Clear the area. Bruno, another clear the area, red dagger, and endurance. 3 more cards on this side. Brawn, mean swing, and lightning strike. All right, 2 threats. Next side scheme, Hydro Patrol. When defeated, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion, puts it into play, engage with them, and shuffle the encounter deck. That card is a problem. So Red Skull's going to attack. We're just taking it. So base 2, exhaust a character you control. I'm going to have enough to pay for him anyway. Then attacking on Thor. Elektra defends. Counter cards. Exhaust your identity. Already done. And Surge. Do a laser rifle. +1 attack. Gets range. Spend energy and physical to discard it. And then the villain schemes for 3, 4, 5, which is just enough. So reveal the top card of the side scheme deck and put it into play. We've got Prison Camps. When defeated, the player who defeated the scheme searches their deck and discard pile for an ally, puts it into play, and shuffles their deck. And then, same response. We've got a threshold of 22, and we're getting 2 to start with. All right, things just went from bad to worse. All right, Thor's going to request an action. So as a hero action, remove 2 threat from a scheme. If this removes the last threat on that scheme, draw a card. Going to use our polymer suit to pay for it. And hero interrupt, make it remove an additional 2 threat. Bring out the Hydra Patrol. So when defeated, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion, puts it into play, engage with them, and shuffle the encounter deck. Don't think the little guys I want to find have been discarded yet. Nope. All right, there we go. Scheme 1, attack of 2. They do have insight, but they're just being put into play and not revealed. So we'll get 1 for each of those. Shuffle up. And that allows Thor to draw 2 cards. Relentless Assault and a Hammer Throw. Oh, he needs... Oh, yes, and he gets to draw a card for Skilled Investigator. Got the Hulk. So we want some defense, so we're going to bring in Brawn. Using our God of Thunder and the power of aggression. Thor to 1, attack of 1, 5 health. After he attacks, remove a threat from a scheme. He's going to swing over here for 1. And remove a threat from Prison Camps. You know what? Instead of using that to pay for it, we're going to use the Hulk for him. So we don't use that. And we're going to change his damage on this side. So that our lightning strike will make sense. Spend X energy resources. We'll spend 1. Deal X damage to the villain and each minion engaged with you. Ignores tough if we have the air roll trait, which we do. So we can take care of him and do 1 damage that direction. Then we're going to swing for 3. We'll make it a mean swing. When your hero makes a basic attack, exhaust your weapon upgrade on your hero. Gets +3 attack for this. So he's swinging for 8. Down to 20. And that'll be his turn. On this side, we're going to clear the area, removing 2 threat from a scheme. If we removed all from that, we draw a card, getting for justice. We are then going to flip over, use her ability. One, looking for a Miss Marvel card, finding wiggle room. Then we're going to use wiggle room to pay for endurance. And put that over here on Thor. Take him up to 10 health. And end her turn. I could have used her to pay for it, but I wasn't planning on keeping wiggle room since we're in alter ego form. But I am going to keep for justice, keeping relentless assault on this side. So 3 more cards. Hammer throw, God of Thunder, and press the advantage. And then 5 on this side. Agent Coulson, Amir, Sneak By, Big Hands, and Counterintelligence. So we start with 2 threats. Get another side scheme, Mass Chaos. Each player discards the top 5 cards of their deck, places a threat here for each different type of resource icon they discarded this way. So possible 4 each. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we got 3 different types there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and just 2 there. So we got kind of lucky. Skull's going to attack for base 1, 2, 3, 4. Braun defends, but he doesn't make it. Then scheming on this side for 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll go up to 8. Oops, forgot the additional +1 coming in. Yep, we got some problems. Insight 1, we got more problems. Head to a side scheme. When it's defeated, deal the first player an encounter card. So we'll put that on the prison camps. And here, Master Strategist. When Red Skull activates, give him an additional boost card for each side scheme in play, then discard this card. And we move first player. So on this side, we are going to use Nakia to make her next card 1 cheaper to bring in Amir. We'll use her ability. Should have used Amir first, big time. Goodness. All right, we found some wiggle room. Use his ability. We are going to need some. So we'll put her on the bottom and draw into strength. So that was a mirror. All right, we're going to bring Agent Coulson in. See, after he enters play, search your deck and discard pile for a preparation card, add it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. We'll get Spycraft. We do have some information. We know what's on the bottom, but we're drawing into these anyway, so we're going to flip over. We're going to play Sneak By. Let's see. We're going to pay full price. So we're moving 5 threat from a scheme. We're going to remove this one. So when it's defeated, we deal the first player an encounter card. We're going to draw a card over here. Then we can search our deck and discard pile for an ally and put it into play and shuffle our deck. I've been putting the side schemes in the wrong spot. Yep. I think we need Nick. We need more cards. So he just comes into play. After he enters play, we choose to remove 2 threat from a scheme, draw 3 cards to deal 4 damage to an enemy. We're going with drawing 3 cards. So we get 2, which gets us another encounter card. And then we shuffle and finish drawing. A wiggle room. Unfortunately, we didn't get any more mental resources, so we can't do that, but we will bring her in. She's going to thwart for 3. Coulson's going to thwart for 2, so that's another 5. Then Nick, swinging for 2. All right, now we're going to go for justice. Going to use this as a mental to remove 4 threat from a scheme. Use her ability to put the event back in her hand. And play for justice again, removing 3 threat from a scheme. So then Thor is going to put in God of Thunder. Then he's going to swing for 5. Yeah, we pretty much got to. Down to 15. Then we're going to do a hammer throw with Relentless Assault in those. Exhaust our hammer. Deal 8 damage to an enemy. Return it to your hand. And it has Overkill. So down to 7. That's going to be our turn. Well, do we want to stay there? I think we're going to flip over. End of our turn, we're going to discard. Draw up to 5. Mean Swing, Spider Girl, Hammer Throw for Asgard, and a Relentless Assault. 5 cards on this side. Big hands. Got our stems back. Wiggle Room, Followed, and Counterintelligence. So 2 threats. The next side scheme is the Sleeper Awakened. Scheme cannot leave play while the Sleeper is in play. When revealed, put the Sleeper into play engaged with the first player. When the Sleeper is defeated, remove this card from the game. Sleeper, Scheme of 1, attack of 3. Let's see, 10 health, guard, retaliate 1, and toughness. Coming in with the first player, and when defeated, remove him from the game. So Skull is attacking. Nick is going to defend. He's a base 1, 2, 3. We're going to get 2 boost cards. Give the villain a tough status card and another boost. Give the villain a tough status card and another boost. Good grief. Tough status card. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Then he's swinging for 3. We're just going to take it down to 7. Scheming on this side, who that did get discarded for base 3, just 3. Right back up to 8. Another encounter card on Miss Marvel. All right, now he's got Retaliate. Got a Hydra Soldier with guard, and when defeated, we get an encounter card. And he's going to scheme for 3, 4. And we got a Jet Trooper. So we got out of a quick strike since we're in hero mode. We also got out of drawing 2 cards. And we pass turn. All right, we're going looking for our hammer. Found it. Gonna bring our hammer in play. Unfortunately, with the hammer throw, feel like I need to heal. Then we'll flip over. Then we're going to play a Relentless Assault over on the Hydra Soldier with Overkill. So he goes away, gets an encounter card, and takes care of toughness. Then we're going to bring in Spider-Girl to stun and confuse a minion. These 2 are going to thwart for a total of 5. Oh, I forgot Spider-Girl. She was attacking here for 2. Attack for 1. I'm going to bring in counterintelligence. When any amount of threat would be placed on the main scheme, discard this to prevent 3 of that threat. Then we're going to play Big Hands, using that to pay for it, to deal 4 damage to an enemy, or in this case, remove a tough card, get retaliated on. Then we're going to flip over, use our ability, found to sneak by. We'll use a mirror. Put Nick on the bottom and draw a card. Founding it for Justice. And I think we're going to keep those 2. Ending our turn. So draw 4 more cards on this side. Skilled Investigator, Endurance, Power of Justice, and Followed. 4 cards on this side. Defender of the 9 Realms times 2. Power of Aggression, and Mockingbird. So 2 threats. Attacking on this side, Spider-Girl defends. For base. 1, 2, oh yes. When defeated, the player defeated the scheme discards a non-elite minion. Perfect. Not perfect, he's elite. All right, so back to the attack. 1, 2, 3, 4. If this card resolves during an undefended attack, discard. We're defending. Scheming over here for base 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to prevent 3 of it. So we're getting 1 and another 1. So up to 11. Counter cards. Reveal the top card of the counter deck, so we're getting 2 more cards. First one, place 2 threat on each scheme in play. That's not good. So that goes to 13. That one gets 2, but it doesn't matter. That one goes up to 6, which kind of matters. Shadows of the Past. Thomas Edison. Scheme of 3, attack for 1, 3 health. Cannot take damage while you engage with another minion. And that guy's going to be around for a while. When revealed, discard the top card of each player's deck for each ally and persona support in play. So no allies on this side. 2 and personas is 2. So 4 cards each. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, we got a threat problem. Exhaust a character you control for each side scheme in play. Oh, goodness. And first player. Well, not entirely done. I forgot we got one extra encounter card that Thor would have gotten. So we got a Flame Soldier on him. So drawing 2 cards. Valkyrie and Piercing Strike. Then we're shuffling these 3 cards in with these 2 cards, which is always difficult to do. And we've got a huge problem. All right. So I really needed to heal with her, but things are so bad, I think we just have to flip over and start going full out on him. So we're going to use her ability, followed for justice. All right, sneak by. We'll use a mirror. Don't think it matters. Put big hands on the bottom. Drawing into clear the area. We're going to make the next card we play this phase reduced by 1. Flip over because we got to. Clear the area for free using Shrink so we can remove 4 threat from a scheme. And if we remove the last, we draw a card. So we got rid of Generation Y, which allows us to draw a card, getting Genius. I'm going to use our ability to get this back, and Thor gets to draw a card. All right, then we're going to go for Justice, removing 4 threat from a scheme. Play a Skilled Investigator on herself. Play Clear the Area to remove 3 threat from a scheme. To remove the last card, draw a card. So we're going to use that to pay for it. Removing 2 threat. Draw a card for that. Into Lockjaw. Draw a card for this. Red Dagger. Ooh, yes. And player defeated this game discards a non-elite minion. He is non-elite. I can't remember if last turn, I feel like I added one for this instead of taking that off. So I'm going to take one off. Hopefully I'm not messing that up. I am going to retcon one thing though. Before I took out that last scheme, I'm going to say that I attached this to it. So an attached scheme is defeated, deal 4 damage to an enemy. So I'll say I put that on that last scheme so I can deal 4 damage to this guy. Not thinking this through. Oh man, I've been forgetting to use his ability. Oh well. We are going to play one of each resource to get rid of his right hook. Then we're going to put Endurance on herself. We're going to Defender of the 9 Realms. That could be dangerous. Oh well, I feel like we got to. Oh, I should have known. Yeah, cannot take damage. It's a hero action. Got to spend a mental resource until the end of the phase. All right. We do get to draw 2 cards. And remove 3 threat from a scheme. I'm going to bring Mockingbird into play. With these, she'll stun an enemy. Mockingbird's going to attack here for 1. Retaliated on. Thor's attacking for 5, which will finish him off. So remove him from the game. And this also gets removed from the game. And I'll remember to draw my card into Lady Sif, which gets us an encounter card. All right. So we're going to bring Lady Sif into play. After she enters play, we ready Thor. We're going to discard a mental and physical to get rid of the gauntlets. I'm going to swing for 5. And I just don't think I want the extra encounter cards yet this turn. So, actually, take him back up to 7. We'll swing to get rid of this guy. And then she will swing or thwart for 2. All right, maybe next turn we'll go full out. All right, 5 cards on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I got his Power of Justice, clear the area, big hands, energy, and another clear the area. 4 on this side. Hulk, energy, strength, and relentless assault. So we get 2 back. I'm going to double check, make sure I don't have any side schemes accidentally hiding out. Nope. So these are going to get shuffled. And think of what the worst one could be and see if that's what we draw. Hydra Reinforcements. When defeated, we're getting an extra encounter card. So 4 threat. Goes to attack over here, lose stun. Goes to attack over here, Mockingbird jumps in the way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Acceleration. And we're going to deal out some encounter cards. And I think it's time to get serious. All right. Exo Soldier coming out with toughness. Harvest. Exhaust each persona support in play. For each support exhausted this way, the villain heals 1 damage. Pretty sure that's all the personas I've got. So healing 2. And a Hydra Soldier, which allows us to draw 2 cards. Unfortunately, he's got guard. Oops, might want to draw him on the right side. Since I kind of know what's happening, I'll reshuffle. And pass first player. Oh, once again, I think I forgot the extra encounter card. He's got a right hook again. Now it's his turn. Now we're going to request an action. Play clear the area. Using our suit. Putting shrink on it so we can remove 4 threat from a scheme. So the player defeated the scheme discards a non-elite minion. That's going to get rid of any of them. All right, this guy sucks because he's got toughness, 5 health, and attack 2. This guy sucks. When defeated, we get an encounter card, but this is just discarding. And that one can't take damage until someone spends a mental resource, and I don't think I took the 2 for him. Late game, making some mistakes here. So the next mistake is which one of those do I get rid of? I don't want the encounter card. All right, so we got rid of an encounter card, drawing a card, downtime, drawing a card for Asgard. And with her ability, we're going to grab this event back. All right, hero action. Spend a mental resource till the end of the phase. Treat those cards. Text is blank. We'll request the action from over here, pitching the clear the area so he can now be attacked. Relentless Assault, 5 damage to him. Relentless Assault with Overkill, 3 damage to him and 2 breaks through. Down to 7. We're going to bring the Hulk in just for defense because I'm afraid he's going to wipe my board. She does have a damage on her. I'm going to request another action over here. Spending 1 of each resource to get rid of his right hook. Then we're going to press the advantage, dealing 2 damage to an enemy. Down to 5. Then we're going to swing for 5. All right, so we've got this one done. On this version, scheme of 3, attack of 2, still gets +1 attack for each side scheme, and we each get an encounter card, 20 health per player. So just 40 away. Encounter cards. Going to swing for 2. Then on this side, thwarting for 3. Big hands for 4 damage. It's down to 34. And keeping Coulson for defense. Oh, forgot again. Should have drawn a card. So we had Tigra, and we'll just keep her in our hand. So 3 more cards. Mean Swing, get over here, and a Piercing Strike. 5 cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Embiggen, Jessica Jones, Helicarrier, Under Surveillance, and a Quake. So 3 threat. Next scheme, Prison Camps. Attacking, I think we're just going to take it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this card resolves during an undefended attack. Discard a support you control. Oh, fortunately for us, we don't have any supports. So upgrade, 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 ally, ally, upgrades, upgrades. So we're just taking 4. That's bad enough. Attacking it over here. Coulson defends for 3, 4 damage. Glad to see that go away. Then that guy's swinging for 2, down to 7. And counter cards. Master Strategist. So the next time he does something, he's going to get some more boost cards. And then a Flame Soldier allows us to draw 2 cards. Then over here, the villain and each minion engaged with you attacks you. All right, I think it's time for Lady Sif to defend on that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you get to tough status. And that's why we drew some more. And then he swings for another 2 down to 5. Thomas Edison. All right, scheme of 3, attack of 1. Cannot take damage while you are engaged with another minion. All right. So we pass first player. All right, so we're going to bring in Jessica Jones. Oh, she's got a scheme of 1, attack of 2. She gets +1 thwart for each side scheme in play. So it's thwarting for 2. Then thwarting for 1. And on her turn, we're going to request an action from Thor to play Defender of the 9 Realms. So discarding till we find a minion, found one with toughness. We draw 2 cards to 2 defenders, but we're removing 3 threat from a scheme. So when defeated, the player who defeated the scheme searches their deck and discard pile for an ally, puts it in play, and shuffles their deck. Lady Sif. Too bad I couldn't exhaust him first. Mockingbird, Valkyrie. Kind of forget who else I have. She-Hulk. Ooh, Spider-Girl's good too. So is Brawn. Now we're going She-Hulk. So you get the nice team up here. So drawing a card, we get Mockingbird, and drawing a card, get a Lightning Strike. And I'm going to play risky. I'm going to flip over, use her ability. Got some big hands. We use a mirror. We'll put an ally on the bottom. And draw into a sneak buy. Make the next card we play one cheaper. And we're going to bring in Quake, who can attack for 2 or thwart for 1. Since I did something a little crazy, I'm going to get rid of toughness on that guy. And hope that doesn't come back to kill us. All right, she's going to thwart for 2. Thor's going to attack for 5. Cross your fingers. Hulk's attacking for 3. And then he's running away. Well, we are going to do a piercing strike to deal 3 damage, removing toughness first. We're going to lightning strike, using that to pay for it, and that for deal damage to a villain and each minion engaged with you. So defeats that minion. We get to draw a card, do a lightning strike, Down to 30. We are not engaged with any minions. So we're going after Thomas Edison. Cannot take damage while you are engaged with another player. That's referring to us the way I read it. So we're going to do a hammer throw. Exhausting her hammer, put it back in her hand. 8 damage and overkill. He soaks up 3, 5 breaks through, down to 25. Then we're going to put her hammer back in play. And end her turn. Keep and sneak by. Red Dagger, Big Hands, and Nick. And then a counter card and shuffle to get 2 more cards. So wiggle room and sneak by. 4 cards on this side. Helicarrier, Spider Girl, Mean Swing, and Genius. So 3 takes us up to 10. Scheming for 3. Oops. Side scheme first. Censor the past. It's one that lets us shuffle 3 cards from our discard pile back in. All right, then scheming for base 3. Nothing else going on. 4. Scheming for 2. And I hope I didn't mess up with flipping over. All right, first one. Yep. 3, 4, 5. We are at 21 of 22. So if I messed up down there, I definitely lost this game. But right now I'm showing 21, so I'll keep on going. Hydra Soldier. And each Hydra minion engaged with a hero makes an attack against that hero. Each player who was not attacked this way searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion, puts it into play, engage with them, and shuffles the encounter deck. So there's no attacks going on. We know who I'm looking for. Guys with a scheme of 1, attack of 2, and they are not revealed, so the insight doesn't lose the game for us. Draw 2 cards, and pass first player. All right, Relentless Assault. 5 damage and overkill. Sucks up 2, 3, takes it down to 22. We get to draw a card into a Mean Swing. I'm going to do a hammer throw with the help from God of Thunder. Exhaust her hammer, return her to her hand, doing some 8 damage with overkill. We're just throwing it all on him. So down to 14. Bringing her hammer back in play. Attacking for 5. 8. Down to 6. Attacking for 1, 2, 3. That's all he can do. She's going to use her ability. Go find Big Hands. We'll use his ability to put energy on the bottom. Getting clear the area, make our next card 1 cheaper. Flip over. Nick Fury, using his ability to deal 4 damage to an enemy when he comes in, which I guess gets the ignore guard, and Nick throws in the final punch. So unless I made a mistake, that got really close. Thor, Miss Marvel were able to take care of Red Skull. And if they'd hold through after the replay, victory, Hydra is defeated and the players win the campaign. So we turn the page to read the conclusion. And in the off event, I was incorrect. Red Skull conquers the world and the players lose the campaign. And we say Hail Hydra. And for deck construction of Thor, we have 2 power of aggressions, combat training, 3 mean swings, 3 get over here, 3 relentless assault, 3 press the advantage, 3 piercing strikes, Spider-Girl, She-Hulk, Tigra, the Hulk, Valkyrie, and Brawn. And then for basics, got our 3 resources with a Helicarrier and Mockingbird. And Miss Marvel, 2 power of justice, 2 skilled investigators, 3 clear the areas, 3 for justice, 3 followed, a spycraft, under surveillance, and counterintelligence. Jessica Jones, Quake, Spider-Man, Agent Coulson, and Daredevil. And the basics, got our 3 resources, a Helicarrier, Nick Fury, Mockingbird, Lockjaw, 2 endurance, 2 downtimes, and that's my deck construction for going up against Red Skull. As always, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough, so please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.